At the end of the year, CSGO skins are probably headed for a series of major disasters. What's going to cause them? Well, some pretty amazing stuff. Stuff that's genuinely good for CSGO, and ironically, the better it is for CSGO, the more of a mess it's potentially going to make. Can it be avoided? Well, maybe, but we might not actually want to, so let's have a closer look. Now, this video is sponsored by Skinport, the easy to use skins marketplace where you can sell your skins for real cash. Skinport has a huge range of skins that you can buy at massive discounts compared to the Steam market, all pretty much at the click of a button. There is no need to deposit first or anything like that, just pick the skin you want and straight up buy it. You can also check it out in 4K using the site's inspect feature for good measure, so you know exactly what you're getting before you buy it. Great site, recommend checking it out, link is in the description. So, what's going to be happening at the end of the year, and why is it potentially going to be such a huge mess? Well, let's look at exactly what we're going to be in for. From October 23rd to November 7, CSGO is due for its first major in over 2 years, PGL Stockholm. Now, PGL Stockholm is going to contain stuff like amazing pro CSGO matches in a massive arena surrounded by screaming fans and stuff like that, but more importantly, it's going to contain new stickers. Obviously, these aren't them, these are the RMR stickers, but the next major is going to bring a new set of these things, and this is where things are going to immediately get messy. Something that's been really big over the last few years in CSGO is sticker investing. And while a lot of the spotlight has been on stuff like Luna forking out $475,000 for 10 Titan Hollows, the cheap stickers released each major have also received a lot of interest, particularly since IEM Katowice in 2019. In fact, every time Valve has released stickers since that major, the amount people have been buying has skyrocketed. And a big part of the reason for that is that every single time Valve has released these tournament stickers, they've turned out to be amazing investments. And that includes the RMR stickers. Even though people bought more of them than pretty much any other sticker in the history of CSGO, the people who invested in them, or invested in the capsules at least, instantly made a profit, and a really good profit for that matter, the moment the capsules went off sale. And this is where we have a bit of a problem. You see, the market clearly does not give a flying f*** about the rules of economics here. In fact, this is a textbook speculative bubble. At some point in the future, this is going to completely end in tears for everyone who invests in these stickers. It will be a disaster, but not the disaster I'm worried about. Sure, the bubble is going to burst someday, but I don't think it's going to be next major, and in fact, I don't think it's going to be for quite a while. And in the meantime, we've got a different problem. You see, when the RMR stickers went on sale back in April, there was so much stuff being bought and sold that it kind of, well, broke skins. Like, Valve literally had to shut down the community market because it got so bad. And while there's no explicit proof it was the RMR sticker sale that caused this, the fact that it happened at the same time seems pretty much impossible to be a coincidence. Which is where I think things might go a bit wrong with the PGL stickers, because the lesson people who invested in RMR stickers learnt was invest even harder, you'll make even more money next time. And they may well, but it also means the market is probably going to be put under even more strain than it was last time. So there is a very good chance we might end up breaking it again, and that would be a disaster. But it might not be a bad thing either. I mean, would it be better if the stickers were a flop or if the major doesn't happen at all? Obviously not, and honestly, I think this is the kind of disaster we really want to have. But the major is only the start, because at the end of November, we're in for a couple of other big updates. Firstly, we're going to be getting the hotly anticipated Dreams and Nightmares case, a case that Valve is holding a $1 million public competition for. Secondly, there's also going to be a new operation, potentially at the exact same time. Does that mean the operation is going to have the same theme as the case with tentacles? I don't know, but either way, Valve is probably going to be doing a lot at the end of November, a big update with lots of new skins. Now, normally, these updates cause a lot of excitement. They get the player numbers up, they push skin prices up, the community is really engaged, people are generally happy and not whinging too much, but they can also have a bit of a downside. And that downside is that it puts so much demand on Steam servers that it kind of breaks skins again. Now, it's not like an RMR Total Meltdown event, things are still semi-functional, but for literal months, it can make loading your inventory a massive pain. This was a huge problem during Operation Broken Fang, and there is every chance it is going to be a huge problem during the next operation too. CSGO might end up going straight from the market completely blowing up to everything being only semi-functional for a couple of months. Not a good combination, but I gotta be honest, I still think it's better than the alternative. It's literally been years at this point and Valve still haven't fixed up their servers to solve this problem, and I don't think they're going to do it now. So the only other way to avoid this is to have a operation and a case that nobody likes. And honestly, I'll take some server problems to avoid that. I think this one is definitely a disaster worth having. But that brings us to one more problem. You know how I said all this stuff generally drives skin prices up? Well, in June this year, people kind of got a little bit carried away with this increasing prices business and ended up creating a massive price bubble that came crashing down again afterwards. Now, this doesn't actually mean that much for CSGO in the grand scheme of things, although I know it certainly did hurt some people, including friends of mine, and I do care about that, but fundamentally, once the bubble was started, there was no way it wasn't going to pop. Now, events like this tend to be pretty random and erratic, but they generally only happen during a sustained period of hype around the game. And do you know what's going to be happening at the end of this year? Well, assuming Valve don't screw things up, there should be a several month-long period of major hype around this game. And when you combine that with global economic conditions that really favour asset bubbles, they're happening everywhere from housing to crypto to shares, it's easy to see something like this happening again. Prices always go up one way or another at the end of the year, they always do, but there's a pretty good chance we could get another crazy boom and bust that goes miles beyond that. And it would be a disaster, a lot of people would get hammered, but at the same time, wouldn't it also be evidence of just how popular CSGO skins are? If people are getting that carried away and creating a crazy bubble like this, isn't it kind of a sign that the game is doing really well? If something is going to go wrong, you want it to be because the game is too popular rather than not popular enough. So if we're in for a disaster, hopefully it's going to be something like this again, because it would be amazing. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.